Hi everyone, Roxanne from Modern Athlete. I'm here with Marissa Groenewald, aka the Rope Runner. Marissa, it's so good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Um, I've met you a couple of months ago at the Peninsula start line, and now you've got a marathon, an ultra, and heading to Comrades. It's exciting times.
Yeah, very.
But before we get started, you've been a runner for many years. Can you give us a little bit of insight into how you decided to start running with a skipping rope?
Sure, yes. So you're correct. I am a runner and I'm also a trail runner. And it depends. I'm a bit of a hybrid. When I feel like it, I do what I want to. And I was pretty okay at trail running, but I was training really hard. And towards the end of 2023, I picked up a hip injury. And knowing that I would have to um, pick up my game in 2004 with trail running specifically and some road running. I needed to do some rehab training, however that entails, and whatever that entails. And I heard that skipping is apparently good for overall fitness and training and not putting too much pressure on, at that time, my hip. Um,
Hmm.
and started skipping in the gym, just normally, as you do. Not a past skipper or anything, or jump roper, as they would call it. And I must be honest, it got pretty boring pretty quickly because like all the time, like this is not going to work for me. How can I make this more interesting? And I thought, well, I think I've got momentum and I can do this. Why not why don't I try run with the skip growth? That's great. Let's do that as a challenge. So started out running up and down and up and down and up and down the studio in Virgin Active. And I thought to myself, oh, hold on, why is nobody doing this? Look, I'm saying this now because um, I've been conditioned to rope running. It was tough. So how it was born is maybe, the studio is way too small. I would like to add some distance to it. So I went to a very secluded little back road here in Hillcrest where I knew no one would know or see me. And I ran my first kilometer with a skipping rope and I nearly coughed up a lung because it was so
It's
hard.
hectic.
It's hectic. And then I thought, wow, this is intense, but flip, I'm sure this is great for fitness. Why don't I continue doing this? And I'm not feeling my head, by the way, so maybe this is working. All this is going on in my head. And I added a
So,
kilometer, then it was 3, and then it was 5, and I did 7 kilometers of rope running. And I thought, well, 10 must be the next goal. And that is how rope running was born, to be fair.
I'm, I'm trying very hard not to shake my head because it's just,
No, take it. I mean,
just like
honestly.
to run this condition. It's like, okay, well, let me run a K. Okay, let me run 5Ks. Oh, let me run 10.
Yeah.
Let me run a marathon. Oh,
Yeah.
this is just the mentality. So,
Look, I vividly remember the words coming out of my mouth. I will never ever. Who runs comrades? I will never run comrades.
yes.
Was the words that
And
I said. And now I'm
and you've
doing
run
it.
two now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm not just
And now with the skipping rope, like, why not? Let's just up the ante.
runner's condition. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, so you get a bit crazy. You decide, okay, well, 7Ks is really hard, but 10Ks, why not? And you like, this is fantastic. Is your hip still doing okay, by the way?
Yeah, look, there's so much pain to focus on. My hip has vanished. There's
Oh,
no
okay,
more hip problems.
that's a good thing to know. So
Yeah.
now you're deciding, okay, now you've done a 10K. So when did this yeah, progress to suddenly, okay, well, let's do a half marathon, let's do a marathon, let's do oceans, let's do comrades. Like how did you get there?
Good question. Um, so like you say, very much runner's condition. There's always a goal to chase, and I'm quite competitive by nature, even in myself. I'm like, Marissa, you've done a 10. Remember how this felt when you ran normally on road and you wanted to do your first half marathon. That's going to feel exactly the same, I bet, with a rope. Why don't you just try and do that? I'm having this conversation in my head. So, and and I set my sights on what kind of route can I do, and is it possible to run this far with a skipping rope? Because there's no one that can tell me it's been done or that you can do it. So I'm kind of I'm it. I'm now
Yeah.
coming to myself, actually, this is possible. So I remember the first half marathon that I ran was on my own, and it was in Hillcrest, and I probably chose the most brutal route that one can think of. It's going down Kranzkloof, up Bridle Road, around. It's like the most amount of hills that one could do. I thought, and I did it. I didn't expect me to do that, but I thought to myself, flip, if I can do this, then surely I can do just a normal half marathon on the road, And perhaps if I can do a half marathon, then that's just halfway to a marathon. You can see this wheel, this hamster running and ticking. And well, wait a minute, what is the most ridiculous thing that I can ever think of doing? Wait, that's how it started.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, watch this. So that's kind of how it happened. And in all of this, I thought, because to be fair, I have generated quite an astonishing amount of stares and comments on the road. I'm like, this draws a lot of attention. I, contrary to popular belief, I don't actually like a lot attention on me as a person. I'm not there to fluff up who I am and that. But if I can do it for something that is close to my heart and draw attention to a cause that can help people, oh yes, then bring on all the attention, because that is funneled through the right channels and it goes into the right things. So I thought, wait.
So,
This is going to be a good thing.
but,
I'm going to make this a good thing.
but this leads me on to my next question, is you are running in support of awareness for human trafficking, which
Correct.
is a big cause that many people actually don't know about. I mean, we speak a lot
Yeah.
about gender-based violence. We speak a lot about all these things, but I don't think people understand the full extent of human trafficking in our own country. It's incredibly scary. So why for you this cause? Why did you decide this is the cause? Is there a personal connection? Is there, a lifelong connection? What was it about this that made you decide this is what I want to run for? We'll
Thank you for
skip
that
Paul, sorry.
question. Yes, it's a personal connection, and that will give you background as to why and why South Africa is important to me to shed light on human trafficking. Side note: South Africa is number 4 biggest human trafficker in the world. No one knows this. I didn't even know this, until I dug a little bit deeper into the underbelly of this thing. How it started was my parents lived in Myanmar, it's old Burma, for 10 years. And it was for my dad's business. Long story short, my mum got involved in outreach, kind of a missionary program to help restore women that had been trafficked, either sold into trafficking or slavery or whatever, and they were saved. And she was part of the team that would help deal with their trauma, help them teach them how to work with their hands and sell jewelry and things like that, restore dignity to who they were. And I visited this outreach a few times when I had gone to them, and it hit home for me. The pre and the post. Face of the ladies, almost one can call it, and how they were given a second chance and what that meant for them, and in that kind of got more aware of what trafficking is. I think the movie Taken was a really big eye opener for globally, for people to see that this is real. It happens. It can happen anywhere. Trafficking does not have it's what's the word, unbiased.
Doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't, that's the word. It doesn't discriminate. There's no color, no age, no gender, nothing. And it can come for anybody. And it happens so frequently to people that you know of in and around South Africa even. So when I had the opportunity to partner with an organization, there are many organizations to partner with, but there's so few that actually shed light on the deep darkness of human trafficking, and that we can actually make a difference. People think, oh, it's too big, we can never make a difference. Yes, you can. One person at a time. That's how we make a difference. And that's why I chose that.
Okay. And tell me about the actual organization you're running for. Skipping, I must get the terminology right.
rope running, skipping, whatever.
Yeah.
It's called Love Justice, and
Mhm.
their head office is now based in Belito, believe it or not. But they've got a massive. I think most of their marketing team, etc., is in the States, where this was born from the passion of a. I think a family on that side that also it was very close to their heart. Anyways, long story short, it's now in South Africa, and I just so happened to, when I started on this journey of rope running, bump into one of my friends that was part of a church that we attended at the time, and they had gotten involved in Love Justice. And I told them about what I'm doing in the organization, and I would really like to get a hold of somebody in the anti-trafficking scene. And he's like, Marissa, my wife works for Love Justice. Why don't you just talk to her?
Yes.
And that's how we connected. And it was a divine connection, to say the least, really. And it's just gone from there.
It's really, I mean, the first time I met you, I didn't think it struck me as hard. And then watching you come into the finish and it's, if anyone sees you en route, it's all about the Love Justice. You've got the vest, you've got the barcode, you've got everything. And I get goosebumps now because we've got so many charities and so many worthwhile causes, but I I just really honor you for running for something like this. It's
Thank you.
very important. And
Thank
you know, the journey you've undertaken is not an easy journey. You were all smiles when you came over the peninsula. I was like incredibly proud of you. And then we met again on the finish line of the Two Oceans. Um,
Yeah.
I saw Marissa coming down the finishing straight, and I was standing doing content. Um, and you were really battling, and it wasn't that I think it was just so hard. And I mean, I can't imagine running a K with the skipping rope, and you just done 56 on possibly one of the hardest courses. And that relief when you got over the finish line, and your friend that was running with you who gave you that big hug, um and then I just had to hug you because it's
Oh, I
and
was amazed. I
I
was
get very
amazed.
teary. But
Yeah.
like what pushes you, because I can't imagine the dark places that you went to on that run, because like for a normal person to run up Chappies, for a normal person to run up Constantia, it's a big ask, and you're not running, you skipping. And I mean, like, can you even walk? I don't think that's even like a possibility. Can you slow down? You can just like how do you push through?
Um, yeah, thank you. That finish line was a relief. Just touching on that, the only thing I can, the only equivalent kind of, or what is the word? Similar emotion that I can compare this with is giving birth. That it's an overwhelming emotion, and I think I felt the same. It's uncontrollable. It was such a massive feeling of relief and accomplishments, and it's like this rush. I thought I was going to smile and laugh all the way, and then I just burst into tears because everything came down on me at one split second, and you were there and Andy was there, and it was such a beautiful moment, though. um and you're right, it was a battle to run Oceans. For a runner, as you know, you go through these emotional ups and downs, and why am I doing this? Oh, I love this. Why am I doing this? Oh, consistently. It was exactly the same with the rope running. I and I've been asked this question many times. Where do I go to in my mind? Look, it's a battle, and when I um, come to the battle of pain, and why I need to remind myself that um, every little step that I take is for the cause that I'm doing it. Even if it's now metaphorically or hypothetically in my mind, I'm literally saving a life per step that I take. And that's quite a thing to hold on to. because I feel like I can't fail. I can't fail. And also, there's a massive amount of expectation and pressure on me. It's like South Africa's waiting, chomping at the bit, waiting to see, can this be done? Is this possible? I'm waiting to see, can it be done? Is it possible? So there's this whole conglomerate of things that weigh on me whilst running this. And to be fair, when I'm down in the dumps and I need to push through, all of this dawns on me, and I'm like, well, Marissa, you are going to have to suck it up and get on with it. Because you have to finish. Of all the people here, you have to finish this. No matter if you crawl over that finish line, this is going to be significant, and you need to make sure that you make a difference. So that's kind of what goes through my mind. And then I forget about it, and I'm like, oh, hello, and what, and all this and whatnot. But the weight of it is what carries me through the finish line, and it'll probably be similar to Comrades, and most likely more so, because it is a ginormous challenge that lies ahead.
Yes.
So facing that bits at a time.
So can you walk? Do you have to run? I mean, do you have a walk style skip?
That's a great question. So look, I guess because I'm the only one doing this currently, I'm making up the rules as I go. So yes.
No, I mean it's
Oh yeah. What does the rope runner do? You can walk, I think. So I take this as a normal runner would. Normal runners walk, they're allowed to walk, so heck, I'm
yes.
allowed to walk. And you can't skip while you walk, so I'm just dragging my rope behind me like a little puppy and taking a break and drinking my drinks. So what I say to myself is, self, at the water stations, you will take a break. You can walk like normal people. When it's an uphill and it's quite congested and you can't skip to hurt people, you're allowed to walk. But whenever you want to run, you're not allowed to run without a rope. So that is the condition.
Okay.
Every
Okay.
single run. I would say in Comrades, not in Comrades, sorry, in Oceans, I probably walked for 1.5 to 2 Ks, like normal athletes would have done at every water station and up a bit, Constantia Neck, etc. That's allowed.
No, that's brilliant. And it's just like you these questions go through your mind, and I've been wondering like what happens, but what is like the general reaction when people are running past you? I mean, are people like coming to talk to you and be like, are you okay? What's going on? Yeah.
Mentally. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I often say they release my stray jacket and then they give it back to me, put me back into my cage. Crazy people. So yes, the reaction, I love it. Because there's a lot of people that don't actually know what I'm doing, and they're like, what am I witnessing here? And they would often come and talk to me and ask me, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And that's always a great platform to kind of tell them what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, scan the barcode and all of that. There's a lot of runners now that actually expect me on the run. The growth from Peninsula to Oceans to Comrades. I think the running fraternity is kind of expecting and hoping to see the rope runner sometime or somewhere along the route and speak to me or selfie or whatever, which is wonderful because, again, it's such a great and beautiful platform. But I have to say this, I would probably think about 50% of, no, not that much, maybe 30% of the athletes encourage and support, etc. But the support next to the road as well, I completely underestimated the power of that and how much that would help me and drag me through all of this. It means the world to me, and it really feels like building up to Comrades, like I'm getting in and building so much momentum, and it's like South Africa is backing me, because this is a world first, and it's happening right here on the doorstep of Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, in Comrades. And again, can she or can't she? Come on, Marissa, you can do this. Come on, we're going to do this for love, justice. Let's all rally together. That means a lot.
And now you've set a fundraising target. I think it was 250,000, or was it more?
Double. Yeah, it's 500.
Double 500. Sorry. How close are you to your fundraising target?
No, not close at all. And I'm not quite sure. I realize even though I'm in marketing and sales, I hate asking for money because
Yes.
for me, it's like if it's in your heart and you want to give, then great. If you don't want to, just spread the word. But again, the reality is the more funds I raise, the more lives we can protect and save at the end of the day. So my thinking was always, Marissa, just get the marathon done. Leading up to Oceans, get people to pledge, even if it's R1 per kilometer that you finish. It's $50 out of the pockets. That means nothing if South Africa rallies together and everybody gives a $50, for back a buddy, or get companies to do $10 per kilometer. That's 560 rand at the end of the day. And the same for comrades. I haven't gotten around to it because, believe it or not, I'm juggling quite a few balls. But I'm thinking I need to probably think of some sort of campaign to make people aware on how to do this, and that it's not gonna. It does. I don't want them to feel I'm taking away from their bread and butter. If you can give $50 or $80 per kilometer that I finish, that would be good enough. And if 1,000 people or 5,000 people or 10,000 people do this, I would have reached target. And on the back of that, we can save 200 lives. So that's kind of the strategy. But no, I'm not near that at all. I think I'm on maybe 4,000 rand. So I've got a
Oh
long
my
way to
word. Okay. So
yeah.
so the first step is people need to go to your BackaBuddy link. They
Correct.
need to donate. And I think on BackaBuddy there's various ways.
So I'm not quite sure. That's a good question. I think usually it is an EFT kind of payment, and then you can either
Yeah.
be anonymous or not. From the backer buddies that I have supported in the past, you just put in your bank details or your card details, and it goes through like a normal transaction would if you buy something online. So it's exactly the same system. However, it gets logged onto Backer Buddy, and you can see the target that I'm chasing at the
Yes.
moment.
So we as Modern Athlete will definitely do a donation to that.
Thank you.
And the other thing is we will include the steps for people watching this in the comments and in the link below to say how to support Marissa.
Thank you.
Marissa, when you say 200 lives saved, can you just give us a little bit on how that works, how they use that money to save lives, just
Yeah.
so people actually know what it's going towards?
Sure, sure. So, Love Justice, they have a very innovative approach in fighting human trafficking, and they call it interceptive monitoring. So that basically, in short, means that they intercept the victims before they even get trafficked across borders, etc. So they saving lives before harm or trauma can get to the people. And they've got trained like ninjas everywhere, train stations, airports, taxi ranks everywhere to look out for who they can see are victims of
Mm-hmm.
all ages and sizes, etc. And then on the back of that, they would start intercepting them on their various ways. And I'm not going to go into details because that is their way, but that's
Mm.
how a life costs to do this cost 2,500 rand per person for the guys on the ground, for them to intercept, for them to restore them back to their families, etc. And that's why 500K would equate to about 200 lives at the end of the day.
The fact that it's a minimal amount of 2,000 rand to save a person
To
is,
save a person, yeah,
yeah, that's, I mean, you can't really equate that. I mean, 2,000 rand saves one person. So
yeah.
really all of us should be getting behind this. And again, thank you for highlighting the cause. And I'm so excited to see you take on the comrades with your skipping rope. I think it's been a phenomenal journey, and we're so grateful that we could join you, however small, on the journey. And um, for everyone watching, Marissa's an incredible person. She doesn't give herself credit to how amazing she is. I've got to know through this, through the Baldwin series, through to Oceans, and all of that. Um, Marissa, just one thing, your family and your kids. What are their thoughts on their crazy mom doing all of this?
Well, they're just as crazy as I am, really. Just kidding. Um, they it's a special question. They and it's close to my heart because I want to have an impact in their lives as much as I want to impact other lives. This is priority for me. So my boy brought, he's extremely creative and like an engineer little mind, and he brought a little Eiffel Tower that he built out of fully, that's Afrikaans, foil. He's like, Mom, look at this. Please, can you have a look and see if this is the first Eiffel Tower that was ever built by humankind? Because you are the first rope
Oh,
runner, and I want to be the first at something and change lives. I'm like, Bjorn, that's amazing. So you brought this to me, and I'm like, oh, I am having an impact on them, and they can see that that hits hard, you know. And the school asked my girl last year, towards the end of last year, they've got this whole list of questions, and what would she want to be one day? She said she wants to be a rope runner, you know. So this, even though we don't often talk about it, they know that I rope run and all that. It's not a big deal, but they know it's going for a good cause, and they want to also, I guess. In a small way, impact lives as much as their mum is doing at the moment. And I hope that will continue in their lives. But yes, no, yeah, they are front runners for their mum, the rope runner.
special. Um, we will be putting the full details on how people can support you, and we really, I think we need to take this far and wide. Good things, guy, if you're listening, because you know this deserves a big platform and a big audience, and what you're doing is incredible. Um, and yes, we wish you all the luck, and we thank you so much for taking a little bit out of your day just to speak to us and tell us a little bit about your journey and where it all went. So thank you.
Yeah,
Next big one is 2 months away.
yeah,
And we hear you are getting a preferential start, which we are incredibly grateful for. And hopefully our team on the ground will capture you en route so we can bring live updates.
yeah.
Um,
Awesome.
but
Yeah.
again, we behind you 100%.
So just to say that it won't stop at comrades. I've already got my sights set on the next goal, which will be more of a global awareness, and that will start up comrades. But I will let you in on all of those details after comrades. Let me just get that mountain out of the way, and then the next goal is global. So let's see.
Well, wow, we look forward to that. And what like an international marathon? Or am I not allowed to guess? Ah, well, hopefully
I'm
invigorate at
writing it
one in every
slowly.
space. Oh, and I did see a reel on TikTok, actually, I think this morning, about your how many ropes you actually go through,
Oh yeah.
and also because I'm completely getting sidetracked is um how you run with special running ropes. You don't run with a generic running rope that you buy from the store. You've actually created your own running ropes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I make them now because I've gone through all the like ups and downs of what it means to run with a skipping rope, and they frustrated me, some of them, and then the handle goes, and it's all these things. I'm like, right, I'm making my own. I'm buying stuff, and I'm going to make my own ropes, and it's worked wonderfully. So maybe
And
I
it's like
market
it's
them
like
one
a
day.
wire.
So
It's
it's a
like a
plastic
thin
tube.
wire.
Yes. You can buy them like at your normal sports stores, and but it's an arm and a leg, and I can't. If I go through a rope every week, it's going to cost me loads. So I've
Yeah.
now gotten the wire with the it's plastic sleeving around it, and then I've got my own handles, and I've got my little tie downs, etc. So it works well for me. It works well, and I'll continue with that until the market opens up for rope runners and they make special
And
special ropes for rope runners. Because no doubt this may one day become an Olympic sport. Who knows?
and well, walking is so we can't discount that.
Yeah.
So but I mean, in terms of strain on your body, on your shoulders and your arms, I mean, how hectic have you picked up any injuries? Is it been a bit more hectic? Because I can't imagine like the you've got to keep your arms and shoulders so tight when you're
Yeah.
running.
So my running style has completely changed. I run like one of those dressage horses. Now, if you've ever seen, I'm running straight up. Tip,
Yes,
tip,
I do.
tip.
Yes,
My
straight
legs
up.
so high. It's quite funny though. And so my back keeps my arms up, and my arms kind of helps my legs, and it's this whole thing, I guess. And it just comes naturally. But yeah, if anything, my arms get tired, my shoulders, and my back gets tired because that keeps my arms from swing, or it helps my arms swing. Calves get tired because I keep on running on my toes. and my toes. They take the biggest shot. So I've got blue toes. I'm losing nails like yesterday. I have no more toenails, but it's okay. It's for a good cause. One toe per person. Kidding. Um, yeah, no, I get sore. I get sore. I was very sore after Oceans.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. Um, and just one, I mean, you've got a plastic, but does that lining, I mean, have you ever got cuts from the skipping rope on the back
Oh,
of your leg?
yes, yeah. So I have to replace skipping ropes because they aren't made for tar, are they? Right. So no one really
No.
runs skipping ropes. So we know this, right? Except this crazy lady that sometimes runs. So the plastic wears through,
Hmm.
and as soon as the wire touches the tar, it starts fraying, and it becomes really nasty where it frays so badly that every time I hit my legs, it cuts into my legs. And there's a video on my Instagram page where you can literally see the blood on both legs. And this was right at the beginning when I learned, hey, Marissa, maybe it's a good time to change your ropes. And that's how I learned that a rope lasts about 20 to 30 kilometers. I need to change this. And this is why I will be running with ropes on my backpack for comrades, probably go through 5 ropes on that route.
Did you change ropes onto your Oceans?
I did, yeah. And this is
Okay.
part of the reason why I the coming into the stadium was so hectic. My rope had frayed, and I didn't expect running on grass because I didn't anticipate this. My rope was already so badly frayed, and I couldn't be bothered changing it. And I thought we're going to run into, I didn't know what I was thinking. But by the time we got to the grass, I'm like, ah, you saw the agony of
Yeah,
me trying to get this rope going, and it was grabbing onto every little grass tuft it could get because it was biting through. And that's
I just
why
honestly thought you
forever
were
to get.
tired.
I know. And the commentators were like, "Oh, it's different to run on grass." I'm like, "Yes, it is. Very different." So if it means that I need to run onto grass on comrades, and I'll make sure that I find out, I'll change my rope quickly before I come in, just so that it's a smooth, more better transition than there's, getting there, hacking the grass.
But I mean, then, comrades, you got the added pressure of the cutoff. Um, like, how is that playing on your mind?
Oh, it hasn't yet. Thank you for reminding me. I will think about that now. Sheesh. Okay.
I, but
Uh,
I mean, you have to have a certain time per K to make sure that you're in on the
yeah.
right time.
Fine, Rox.
I'm,
Okay, I'll apply my
I'm
mind.
sorry to
Yes.
add to the stress. It's
Oh
not
my
part of my
goodness.
life.
So now I'm
But
actually running comrades in 3 days, which is beloved long runs. We run the
the
entire
Easter
route.
100, yeah.
Yes, it is. We're running the whole route for this Easter weekend, so I can get my head around and potentially plan on what the average time will be. At this stage, I'm doing 6.5 to 7 minutes, okay? And I think I may just make cut off just everything before cut off every time. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to try my best. Absolutely. I mean, watch this.
And last question, when you run without your skipping rope, is it
Yes.
weird? Is it like, do you do
I
training
haven't done it
runs without your
for a long
skipping rope?
time. Sheesh, arms is a luxury. What are these things swinging past me, So easy. No, yeah, I haven't entertained running normally because it's not going to benefit me now. I need to run with a rope. So, and I'm not doing trail run either because I can't incur any injuries at this stage because then I'm out. So I'm only
Yes.
doing rope running, and I've only been doing this for months now. But I do miss running a bit. I have done one run for a friend on her birthday, and it was fairly easy compared to most of the other runs. I'm like, actually, it's easier. Yes, if
So you
that's the
could be
question.
an elite runner after you're a rope runner.
And watch out, Tab. Now. Watch out. I'm kidding. Oh man, no, I have no idea what I'll be like after this. We'll see.
Oh, well, thank you for taking a bit of my detour with me. I do apologize for that. Sometimes
No,
these
no,
thoughts just come to you afterwards, but
no,
again, we behind you 100%, and we wish you only the best. And we're just so excited to see what you're going to do. And cut off be
no.
damned, you are going to do it. We believe in you. So
Thank you.
everyone, please support the rope runner. She's doing it for an amazing cause. And yeah, we first in line for the exclusive announcement after
Yeah.
Comrade.
I've got your back. Yeah, no, it's
Thanks.
perfect. Love that. Thank you so much, Rox. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Cheers.